Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. We're here for the Administrative Matters meeting. We will begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I call this meeting to order. I'm Kristen Stevens, Chair of the Board of County Commissioners. With me is my fellow commissioner, Commissioner John Kafalis. Commissioner Jody Shattuck McNally should be joining us shortly. On our right, we have from the clerk's office, we have Lindsay Jones. We have our assistant. Yesterday we had our assistant county manager. Today we have our county manager with us, Lorenda Volker. We also have Michelle Bird, our Public Affairs Director, and Tom Clayton, our Communication and Media Specialist from Public Affairs. So thank you for being here. We begin these meetings with public comment. We don't have anyone signed up, although we'll talk to Ella soon, who's Miss Loveland Valentine. Michelle, is there anyone who called in or wanted to call in for public comment?
Not this morning, Commissioner.
Okay. I'll just ask if there's anybody in the audience. I don't believe there is anyone in the audience, but is there anyone in the audience who would like to give public comment? All right, seeing no one, we will close public comment for the morning. Just want to remind folks that you can join us in public comment on Tuesday mornings at 9. You can also send an email to the commissioners, give us a phone call, send us a text. We are available however you wish to engage with us. So I will begin. Our next agenda item is approval of the minutes. And Commissioner Kafalis, would you make that motion, please?
Yes, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. I move to approve the minutes for the week of January 27th, 2025.
Thank you. There's a motion on the table. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 2-0. We will now move to our upcoming schedule review.
Thank you, Commissioner. Here is your draft schedule for the week of February 10th through the 14th of 2025. On Monday, February 10th at 11 a.m., you'll have a work session for the Climate Smart Future Ready update. At 12 p.m., the Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual State Forest Health Council Leveraging Resources Committee meeting. At 1:30 p.m., there will be a work session with Leslie Ellis, Director of Community Planning, Infrastructure, and Resources. At 3 p.m., you'll have land use items with the Development Review Team. That is a hybrid meeting. On Tuesday, February 11th, you will have Administrative Matters at 9 a.m., which is this meeting in this room, followed by Legal Matters with the County Attorney. At 1:30 p.m., you will have Legislative Direction with the Legislative Coordinator, followed by Administrative Direction to County Management. At 4 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Loveland Urban Renewal Authority Board meeting. And at 6 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the Environmental Science Advisory Board meeting. That is a hybrid meeting. On Wednesday, February 12th at 11 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual National Association of Counties Rural Action Caucus meeting. And then at 12 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may also participate in the virtual National Association of Counties Energy, Environment, and Land Use meeting. At 1:30 p.m., you'll have a work session with Laura Walker, Human and Economic Health Services Director. And at 2 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Workforce Development Board meeting. On Thursday, February 13th at 7:30 a.m., Commissioner Stevens may attend the Fort Collins Downtown Development Authority Board meeting. At 11:30 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Larimer County Interagency Oversight Group meeting. That is a hybrid meeting. At 11:30 a.m., Commissioner Stevens and Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Counties and Commissioners Acting Together Transportation and Fiscal Reform Committee meeting. At 11:45 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis and Commissioner Shattuck McNally will attend the Lions Club luncheon at the Salvation Army. At 1:30 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Office on Aging Advisory Council meeting. That is a hybrid meeting. And at 3 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual Fort Collins Urban Renewal Authority Finance Committee meeting. On Friday, February 14th at 8:30 a.m., Commissioners may participate in the virtual Counties and Commissioners Acting Together Governing Board meeting. And at 12 p.m., Commissioners may attend the Colorado Department of Local Affairs informal lunch. And that is all.
Thank you, Michelle. Commissioner Cavallis, any corrections or additions? No, I don't have any either. So that was easy. Perfect. All right, so we will move on to the consent agenda. And for folks who don't know, consent agenda items are approved en masse unless we remove something from the consent agenda. And our first item on the consent agenda are abatements, and we will be pulling the abatements number 1 through 11 from the consent agenda because at the applicant's request, that applicant wants to have a hearing with a referee, and so we will not be including those in consent. So then we will be approving, or we will be keeping the rest of the abatements on, and those are abatements 11 through 17, and you can find more information about those online. We have 4 agreements on our consent agenda. We have the Home Share 2025 Grant Agreement, which is an exciting opportunity for housing in our community. It's a contract funding agreement with Neighbor to Neighbor to create a supportive housing option for older residents in Larimer County who are homeowners or looking to be renters in a home share partnership. So sometimes folks have some extra bedrooms, and this enables them to be able to have a home share partnership. And that total dollar amount for that is $30,000, and the term runs through December 31st, 2025. And I'll just acknowledge that Commissioner Shattuck McNally has joined us this morning. Our second agreement is Amendment Number 1 to Agreement for Jail Services, and this agreement allows the terms that covering the holding of municipal sentenced and pre-sentence offenders from the city of Fort Collins by the Larimer County Sheriff's Jail. And the total dollar amount is $237,363.15, and that term runs through the end of the year. We have an agreement, the third agreement between owner and contractor for construction contract. This is for the new 20-acre municipal solid waste landfill cell, known as Cell 1, featuring an engineered liner system. So this will be a lined landfill. So we're excited to get to work on our first bit of the new landfill, which is north of Wellington. The total dollar amount of this first cell is $8,319,470.41. Our fourth agreement is an Eviction Prevention 2025 Grant Agreement. This is also through Neighbor to Neighbor, and it's contract funding to provide eligible community members with the cost of rental payments in prevention of loss of housing. So, and that total dollar amount is $289,000 and runs through the end of the year. Again, a great opportunity for us to provide housing and keep people in housing in Larimer County. We have 2 appointments, and I don't know if we have additional information, but one is to rescind an appointment to the Workforce Development Board, and one is for Erica Lee and Bella De La Torre, and then one is a recommended appointment to the Estes Valley Public Library District. And then we have 3 liquor licenses, one for the Fort Collins BPOE, the Elks Lodge. That is a club license. We have a liquor license transfer of ownership for Glen Echo Liquors, LLC, doing business as Glen Echo Liquor, and that's a retail liquor store license in Bellevue, Colorado. And finally, we have a renewal for Worthwhile LLC, doing business as Inlet Bay Marina, and that's a fermented malt beverage on and off premises license. We have 7 miscellaneous items. We have a request for legal action for code compliance case number 25 CCC 0006. This is a legal action on a property that has a long history with code compliance regarding people sleeping in multiple storage containers, solar panels added without a permit, expansion of business without planning approval, inoperable junk vehicles, junk and debris. So we are providing legal action for that case. And then a second authorization for legal action in code compliance case number 25 CCC 0021. This is someone who has been operating a short-term rental that is not in compliance and does not have a license to do so, and has multiple requests to not proceed and has done so anyway, so we will be requesting legal action for that. Then there is a miscellaneous item for the Colorado Department of Transportation's certification of road mileage for Larimer County. Certified road mileage is one of the determining factors for the amount of highway user tax fund money that we receive, and the signature sheet reflects the mileage through December 2024 for the county. We have a fourth quarter public trustee report, which is a summary of activity between October and December of last year. The fifth item is a Larimer County legislative positions. So there are bills that are reviewed by the Board of County that we take a stance on, and those can be found on the Secretary of State website and also on our website. And then the sixth item is an expense report for the quarter ending December 31st, 2024. This is for Larimer County Department of Human Services for the period of October 1st through 2024 through December 31st, 2024. And finally, there's the Colorado Division of Criminal Justice Change in Project Officials. This is, we have a victim services grant, and we are just changing the director from Timothy Hand to Emily Humphrey as required by this form. And the last item on the consent agenda is a resolution. This is the findings and resolutions denying the Mustang Mountain Coaster expansion change in character of a non-conforming use. And that is all for the consent agenda. Would anyone like to pull an item from this agenda? No? Okay. I will ask Commissioner Shattuck McNally to make a motion, and of course we are not including the abatement items 1 through 11.
Thank you for that clarification, Madam Chair. I move to approve the consent agenda for February 4th, 2025, noting that abatement items 1 through 11 were removed from the consent agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. We are on to a fun part of our agenda, which is a commissioner's guest, and this will be 2025 Miss Loveland, Valentine, Ella Pettit, and is it? So we'll ask you to come up, and Norma Jean is your the person chaperone that's with you. Wonderful. Thank you for coming. So welcome. We're happy to have you this morning, and please say a few words about yourself and the work you're doing as Miss Valentine.
Perfect. So in late November, I was nominated to be Miss Loveland Valentine, and I didn't really think that I had a chance at all for some reason. I was like, oh, there's a lot of people going out for this, and it just didn't seem feasible. And then I got through the interview process and my speech and everything, and I was like, wow, this is such a cool program that I honestly didn't really know much about until right then. And then I did research beforehand, but I didn't really realize the honor it is as a teenage girl to be representing my community in such a special way. So I've been making appearances for church groups recently here, and then I get to go down to the Capitol in a couple weeks, and I just get to represent my community in the best way that I can. And what's most special to me is I didn't think it was possible, and so I think that it's cool to tell younger kids about it and make sure that they know that if they want it, they can do it, and that there's amazing opportunities that Loveland has to offer, and this was just one of them that came my way. So, yeah.
It's wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Ella. Norma Jean, did you want to say anything as well? As the chaperone?
Thank you for letting us come today. We have a gift for you, and the card, of course. Make sure that you do send your Valentines through Loveland. You need to put them in a special box so that they don't go to Denver to have the postmark on. And They are busy, the volunteers are busy stamping and putting the cachets on the envelopes at the chamber office, and it's going well. They expect 100 to 200,000, and it's one way of reaching our city and our state to the rest of the world, actually. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Norma Jean. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Commissioner Shattuck McNally?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and welcome. It is really nice to meet you, Ella. And my 3 kids went to Thompson School District, so I don't think you mentioned which high school you attend.
I go to Loveland High, and I'm a
Wonderful!
senior there.
That's where
Yeah.
my kids went. So
Yeah.
great. And can you tell us what year the year of the program is for Loveland? It's what anniversary year this is?
Yeah, so the remailing program is a little bit longer, but I am the 64th Miss Loveland Valentine.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been around for a little while.
I
Yeah.
think 74.
74.
Semi-
I think 74 years, and they're gearing up for a big celebration next year.
Yeah, that's why I was mentioning that because
Okay.
I knew we were like just barely there, but it will
Yeah.
be a great year. And I think I appreciate your comments that anything's possible, and you never know, if you're gonna you won't know until you try, and so and even if you try and it's not always. Doesn't go your way, you learn something, and so I commend you for trying and congratulations, and it's lovely to meet you. I hope you enjoy the state capitol, and it'll be a fun day for you. Norma Jean, you've been a very diligent and dedicated chaperone for so many years. It's such a pleasure to have you come before us every year. Thank you for your service, and just want to say congratulations. It's great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Kafalis, would you have any questions or comments?
Sure. A
Do you want to
couple
have
of
these?
questions for you, Ella,
Yeah.
if I may. One is you mentioned how you made a speech back in November, perhaps, and you thought perhaps the odds were against you to be nominated to be selected. I'm curious, what were some of the themes of your speech? What did you talk about?
Yeah, so the speech is titled Loveland, My Community, and it's basically everyone gets a prompt, and that's your prompt, and whatever you want to do with it, you decide. So in my speech, I talked about the hundreds of thousands of letters that come through Loveland and how I too have been stamped by my community, whether it's from volunteering or just being involved in committees. And now Loveland, I do a lot of clubs, and you just see the tremendous amount of support. And then I looked back on when I was a kid, and there's so many places in Loveland that I didn't realize were such a big deal, like Crow Park, where I learned to play soccer, and the old course where I learned how to golf. And looking back on it, all of those places are so incredible now to me just because they have such a special place in my heart. So I just emphasized that, and then how it basically raised me to be who I am today.
May I continue a little bit?
Yes, please do.
Thank you, Ella. I'm curious. My other question, and then I have a comment. It's a combined question. What year are you in high school, and what are your thoughts beyond high school, or what are your interests or passions?
Yeah, I'm a senior right now at Loveland, so I graduate in like 3 months, and it's very scary, but I am a competitive soccer player, and I am going to play college soccer next year. I don't know where yet. I have a lot of offers on the table, so I'm just making my final decisions in the next couple of weeks, trying to get that out of the way before high school season starts. My dream is to become a physician's assistant, so I really have a passion for the medical field, and I would like to study sports exercise science for my first 4 years and then apply to PA school for my last 2.
That's great.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah. Are you done, Commissioner?
actually no.
Okay.
Well, can I just interject? Just
Yeah,
so you
sure.
know, my husband is a emergency medicine PA and sits on national boards and things. So if you need to ask someone about school and other things, just reach out and he'd be more than happy to connect you like he has done with dozens of students interested in this career. So
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Kafalis, continue.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Ella. Thank you very much. Thank you for. I think sometimes when we put ourselves out in a leadership role, it can often be a stretching of our comfort zone a little bit. So I'm very grateful for that. And of course, goodness gracious, Norma Jean, thank you for your support and the guidance you provide, and all the I'm sure the time you commit to everything, and making sure that Loveland stays on the map, and then people recognize it's a wonderful community. My granddaughter, one of her favorite places in Loveland is the Cat Cafe, which I actually I got to visit a while back. But I did want to share, since if I may, Madam Chair, very quickly, um, since we're on the topic of love, I believe Valentine's Day is about certain kinds of love and relationships and healthy relationships and all that. But I did want to share this. It's from a Greek word, ancient Greek word, agape. Agape love is if I may, a selfless, unconditional, and sacrificial love that is often considered the highest form of love. It is a choice to love others. It is selfless, unconditional, sacrificial, kind, accepting, non-envious. I hope that's okay. I wanted to share that. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
That
thank
is
you.
that is wonderful to share, and it's kind of hard to follow. And I feel like all the questions have been asked, but I will ask you, what has been something you learned about Loveland, or the best experience about serving as Miss Loveland for you?
The coolest thing for me is how big of a deal it is, like behind it, and how much it means to people. Kids my age, they didn't really know what it was. They were like, "What's that? Like, why are you in the newspaper?" But it's just such an honor to see different generations of people before me and after me. And I think that there's so many cool things that Loveland does as a community, and getting to see that firsthand and go and talk to those groups is really incredible to me. There's just so many of them, like different clubs. Like I went to Philo, and they do a lot of scholarships for kids going to 2-year schools, and that's like so cool to me, just how people get together and different church groups and things like that. So my I would say the best thing for me is just seeing all the different groups of people coming together for just the betterment of the community.
Well, thank you for being such a wonderful ambassador. I mean, Loveland's lucky to have you, and as their ambassador, I'm sure you've learned a lot about your community. But it's great to sort of fall in love again with the place that you live. And so, thank you for being here. Lorinda, would you like to say any words?
I'll just add my congratulations. This really is a community award. The idea that you all have to submit essays around a prompt about the community is, I think, what makes it so strong, and what maybe makes it move through generations. Like you said, people before you, people will come after you, and they'll serve in this role as an ambassador for the community and for the remailing program, which is Sylvan is so well known for. So congratulations. Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
luck with your college and choosing where you go.
Thank you.
Great. And then if you're okay with this, we would probably like to take a photo with you.
Yeah, we
Is that
have
fine?
cards and gifts as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but yeah, a picture would be great.
Okay, well, we'll take those cards and gifts, which you guys are always so generous to give us. Thank you very much.
There, that's the official card.
Wonderful. And well, coffee is always appreciated.
Official card and the cachet.
Yeah.
We'll pause for a moment and we'll come out there and we'll shake your hand and we'll take a photo. Does that work for all you? All right. We'll see you soon. Okay, we are back to our agenda. Thank you for indulging us in that little photo opportunity. We don't have any discussion items this morning, so we will move on to our next agenda item, which is the county manager update.
Thank you, Commissioners. I think I'll keep it pretty short this morning. I have good news to share. We received grants for EV charging stations at this building, at Carter Lake, and at Horsetooth Reservoir. The ones at Horsetooth and Carter Lake are up and running. They're level 2 charging stations, so the public should know those are there and they're available for use. There has been a delay in receiving a part for the ones here at 200 West Oak. That one should be operational after the 17th of February, and then we'll do a celebration with you all, have folks come here and talk about where those are and how the funds were received to get those done. So great news. We do have two up and running and one soon on the way. And I will leave it at that today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Any questions for the county manager this morning? All right, seeing none, we will go to Commissioner activity reports, and Commissioner Kafalis, I'll have you begin with that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have a couple of things. One is, yesterday, Monday, I participated in the Poudre Fire Authority, their community stakeholder meeting. I think they do like a 3-year strategic plan, and they gather community input. And it was, you fill out a questionnaire kind of thing, and you make choices between functions that the Poudre Fire Authority does and aspires to do more so. And I got to sit at, everyone sat at different tables, but it was nice to be at a table with folks like the mayor of Fort Collins, the CEO of UC Health, the executive director of Fort Collins DDA. Good crowd of folks, good discussion. And so that was one event. On Saturday, I attended the annual youth event at Plymouth Congregational Church. They do work to raise funds for homelessness prevention, and this year in particular, they focused on. It used to be St. Thomas University Chapel on Shields there. It's Lumen, and it still has a Lutheran affiliation, but they have a housing program where they help college students, CSU students that are housing insecure, struggling to pay rent. So they help to cost share the housing for these kids, these young people to be able to attend and be successful in college. And then finally, we were all there. It was good to all be present. Friday, the Congressman Joe Neguse had a State of the District town hall meeting at Front Range Community College. By my rough estimate, there may have been 200 people there. To his credit, he had a whole slide presentation prepared, but then he realized that folks probably didn't want to look at slides. They wanted to have a conversation and ask questions about our current state of affairs and how do we all come together to move forward in a good way. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Shattuck McNally.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll go back to, on Tuesday, we had a chance to meet with Congresswoman Boebert. She is now the CD4 representative, which is Wellington and Loveland. We each got just a very, very, very brief time to meet with them individually. And we met in Loveland, and I just want to thank her for her outreach and chance to make connection and have a discussion on how we can work together, especially in light of all of the concerning changes on Tuesday. And I think we all expressed some of our concerns. Thanks to the Overland Mountain Bike Association, it was really fun to sit down and celebrate with them. They do a lot of work and really volunteer and working on some of our developing trails. They actually build trails, and they also were impacted. They have a federal grant. So it was an interesting evening to talk to a lot of folks who were impacted that have jobs or grants or research. It was just, it was nice to be with folks and see how this had a ripple effect. And it
not nice to see, but actually it was great to hear from folks and listen and understand their concerns, and I appreciated that. Commissioner Stevens and I, we had an all member meeting for commissioners acting together. We attended hybridly, but we had a lot of discussions on housing and some of the big bills, and I really appreciated the time to dig into some of those deeper and kind of ask questions. And I want to thank everyone that works on that. We had our CCI steering meetings was one of our first ones of the 2025 legislative season. It's really a chance for all 64 counties. We have 60 new commissioners across the state, and so it was a chance to get to know them and have conversations and talk out at length and make bonds and we had some really robust and rich conversations on some of this legislation and welcome kind of trial by fire that day with all the talks for these new folks, but appreciated that. I'm also involved with the Visit Estes Park privately with the search for the new executive director. That was most of the day. Thursday, I was up in Estes Park and it had lots of breaks in between. That search is on hold at the moment and we had that discussion yesterday at that public meeting. So I just wanted to kind of share if anyone's interested in the progress with that. Commissioner Stevens and I went down to have breakfast with all of the legislators in person, first floor at the state capitol, and that was great. We got to invited by Senator Bridges to come onto the Senate floor, and we got to see our state representatives from Larimer County, and I talked to some representatives from other districts and probably 25 in all that I spoke to, and it was really a great conversation, and I appreciate their time because they're very busy, as we all are, but in between meetings, I really appreciated their time. And I too attended the Nagoose Town Hall. I wanted to thank him and his staff for arranging a great town hall that a lot of folks had a chance to listen, lots of room. Estes Park was standing room only, probably the same amount of people or more up in Estes Park as well. I heard from folks who were wondering why I wasn't trying to race up there and race back down again, but I really appreciated his outreach throughout the community. I did spend some time meeting with other commissioners over the weekend and just having some private conversations and talking about legislation and things that we can do together. And as you can see, I had another kind of a eventful weekend by my appearance, and I will heal and get better. So if you're all worried about that, I'm good. I'm fine. And then I think that's all I have to share. I know we had our people may not know we meet as all elected officials in Larimer County, and we have lunch, we talk about things, and it's public notice and stuff. And yesterday was very special because several of the other folks have been talking with their colleagues across the state, whether it's in the sheriff's department, the coroner's office, or the clerk's office, all expressed as they looked across the state and discussed challenges with their colleagues that they all were very grateful that we may not always align 100% because we all are kind of over our areas, but they really were thankful for the positive and collaborative partnerships and the conversations and relationships they have, and we're very grateful knowing that that's not always the case across the state. And I wanted to make that note to the public because I really appreciated them saying that, and I'm grateful for their engagement and partnership. We are really a very great group of elected officials who deeply care about Larimer County, and we respect each other and we listen, and we also may not always agree, but we at least have a respectful and discourse. And I just wanted to thank them for those comments and their time because we all have lots of things, but I really value the work they do and the work we do together. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I'll just mention a couple things. On Thursday, Eric Tracy and Eric from our engineering department, attended the North Front Range Metropolitan Planning Organization 10-year priority list planning workshop. So that was an opportunity for us to express what our transportation goals were for the next for the next 10 years. We'll be sharing that information with the Colorado Department of Transportation. So that was a really important exercise. We were there with our partners from Weld and municipalities from all over Larimer County as well. And so that was a great to talk about some of the projects we have, including the I-25 and Mulberry corridor area, some other projects are on 34, some multimodal projects, including trails that Fort Collins is planning. So we wanted to be there to not only support projects that we have in the hopper, but also projects that our municipal partners in Larimer County and in Weld County have prioritized. So it was a great opportunity to kind of look at projects that that could possibly be funded. This doesn't mean they will come to fruition because CDOT has some budget constraints. We have some budget constraints, but it's really good to prioritize those projects and to have them lined up when federal funding and other funding becomes available. So I thank Eric and the engineering team at Larimer County for their work to help me understand and help me make those choices at that workshop. And then just wanted to say about the state of the district with Congressman Neguse. Congressman Neguse gave us an opportunity to speak a little bit about some of what we are doing. And I think that, in light of there's some uncertainty right now. There always is with the changing of administration. But it was really great for us to talk about projects that we are prioritizing. Projects like climate, behavioral health, recycling, air quality, housing, things that we're working on now, things that we've made really good progress on, and things that we want to continue working on. So I think having that opportunity to speak on those items actually, I think, was a really hopeful moment in that. I mean, not to toot our own horn, but I do think that people came up afterwards to say, that's great. I'm glad you're continuing that work. How can we help? So I think it was a really great exchange. Like I said, nothing's all doom and gloom. We continue the work that we have prioritized, and we will continue to do that work. So that was a great opportunity. That is all I have. We do have to go into executive session. That is our last item on the agenda. No decision is expected, so we will not be coming back on air after our executive session. And I will ask, I'm not sure if, I don't, whose turn it is, but I don't know that it makes, it's Commissioner Kafalis, so I will ask Commissioner Kafalis to make the motion to put us into executive session, and we will see everyone next week. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the Larimer County Board of Commissioners enter into executive session pursuant to the Colorado Revised Statutes 24-6-402 4E, determining positions relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators relating to potential business personal property tax rebate pursuant to Colorado Revised Statutes 30-11-123.
Thank you, Commissioner. There's a motion on the table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes 3-0. We'll now move into executive session, and we will see you next week, Larimer County. Thank you.